So I'm just going to hope that I'm able to upload videos that are longer than 15 minutes, because this one is 17 minutes long, the one that I'm going to be looking at. And the reason that I'm going to be looking at it and commenting on it is that it is the clash of two fundamentally opposed worldviews whose materials and content of each of them I partially agree with and partially disagree with simultaneously. So I'd like to show the flaws of each of them by commenting on this video, wherein he reviews Spirit Science, who I agree with in some places and completely disagree with in others.
And done. I'm proud of myself. Are you proud of yourself? Oh, hell yeah, I'm proud of myself. We finished the entire 2016 lineup. It's all ready to go. It's gonna be smart. What you watching?
Dude calls himself Dogma Slayer 666. This motherfucker is legit.
I think most of us are in agreement here that scale them and let them.
No more atheists.
Spirit Science, Secrets of the Moon. Sounds pretty good. Let's try this out.
Man, I love the moon.
One thing that I want to point to is that there's a video about the Earth and the Moon in relation to each other. I think it might be by Nova, I'm not sure what by, but that there's Jupiter was close to something with Jupiter, and then there's a chunk, and that chunk hit Earth, and that added core made the Earth life-sustaining as opposed to one of the other planets that was right next to it. Without the Moon, we would not have come to be. The Moon is literally fundamental to our current existence. Without the Moon, the Earth would not be as it is. And I don't remember where the fuck I saw that video, which is annoying the crap out of me.
It's such a random way to start the video.
Would you say the moon is masculine or feminine?
What?
So the fundamental thing here that I'm agreeing with is something that he is actually probably, the urban skeptic is not at all familiar with and probably believes in the opposite of, which is the idea that a singular entity cannot exist. This is the fundamental notion in regards to Zen that Alan Watts talks about, that these people simply assume. And it is contrary to the ideas of materialism and scientism, namely that only the material world exists, which is a fundamentally incoherent concept and unscientific concept to boot, but it is nonetheless believed by many scientists.
Spiritually speaking.
And there are others who I've at this point refuted, like Matt Dillahunty, who advocates that literal view. It's unfortunate that he is against a traditional theist who then understands the idea, but fundamentally is wrong about he uses a non sequitur of the existence of both material and non-material world entwined, because that's the only way that you can have it, as being evidence for Jesus Christ, which is a complete fucking non sequitur, and that's what all the religious people do, is they use quantum mechanics and so forth to pseudoscience their way into saying, well, yeah, that means that this religion is true. Bullshit.
I've most often heard that it embodies female energy.
It's a rock.
We have Mother Nature full of life and creation. Wouldn't the moon be the father?
Yeah, you might think so. However, our celestial father is
Wouldn't you think so? So you're just, well, you know, this would make sense. Let's do this. Let's just make it up as we fucking go.
most definitely the sun.
Oh, right, I forgot.
It's because of our father above and our mother below that allows all of this life to exist.
So the sun shoots its life-giving rays at the earth, and
Sperm.
the earth gives birth to life.
Pussy.
That makes sense to me.
The moon is actually neither, which makes me think it must be more like a cousin.
Wait, so does that mean during solar eclipses...
So in other words, the moon is blocking the sun's cock to jizz on Earth.
Oh my god. You fucking block!
But perhaps what's more curious about old Lady Luna is that her existence has actually never been explained by modern science.
I didn't know that.
Who needs science to explain things?
It has been. Watched that Nova documentary that I need to fucking find to show this. God damn it.
Right. I mean, I know you don't.
Didn't realize it was that
But isn't
long.
it interesting that using science we can build nuclear weapons, but cannot even explain this most ancient entity that floats at our...
No, that's not surprising and to be expected, you fucking morons regarding the holographic universe where everything is connected to each other, so of course you'd expect that.
doorstep?
It's not really fair. I mean, they're completely different studies of science.
Which is the fucking point, which is that desperate things can be the same thing, which is what non-locality fucking means, you fucking morons. You're doing this advocation against it completely idiotically.
But I get what you're saying.
That's ironic.
What's stranger? The moon is actually far too big to be a natural satellite of the Earth. And the current leading theory in science is that something like a Mars-sized planet-like rock came out of nowhere.
No. This is incorrect. It didn't just bounce off into it, cracking it. They were both very gassy and liquidy at the time. It was a time of chaotic motion, before the formation of grass. You're wrong. You're theorizing about this in an inconsistent way. Well, actually, you don't even give a flying fuck about which way you consider it, so why should I give a fuck about your views?
And hit the Earth, and then it became the moon.
I'm just gonna get this out of the way. Right now, we can explain the moon. It is a mystery, correct, because it isn't a part of the Earth. It came from somewhere else, but that doesn't...
Well, that's technically incorrect then, because it is part of the Earth, because part of the thing that formed into the moon hit into Earth and it became part of the Earth, making the Earth bigger so that it had the tectonic plate motion so that life, as we have right now, could exist. So no, the moon, the thing that became the moon, is part of the Earth.
necessarily mean that it's a fantastic story. It was probably just another part of our solar system that crashed into us.
And when those physics didn't work out, they came up with a new theory that said that the same planet-like rock-like thing hits the planet, bounces around, and then hits it again, and then becomes the moon. Needless to say, the physics still didn't work.
Well, we don't have the details, but that's what would have happened.
Well, what the hell?
Like, neither of you are citing sources for your stuff. You're like, they did this. Okie dokie, that's what happened. I didn't just completely fucking make that up. No. Here are the references that I don't have.
Oh, is there more?
Which is actually literally true for me right now, which is fucking obnoxious.
Well, now that you ask, have you ever heard anything about it being hollow?
Hollow?
Yeah.
Hollow, yes, and it is theoretically possible, since quantum mechanics, or not quantum mechanics actually, the basic idea about the atom is that it's 99% empty space. So yeah, that's theoretically possible. It might be the case. It would be a lot less frustrating and interesting to debate that than the flat Earth, for certain.
I've got the details somewhere here.
You just carry around details?
Yeah, well, what wouldn't you if you were talk about evolution, dude? Axel Snacks did.
About how the moon is hollow in your backpack everywhere you go? That's how you roll.
In November of 19...
Well, so you're just skeptical all the time? That's just like how you roll? You're just gonna bring out all these detailed logical arguments, dude? That's just how you roll?
69, NASA crashed a lunar module into the moon, causing the equivalent of 1 ton of TNT. NASA said that the moon reverberated like a gong for half an hour.
NASA never said.
And who fucking cares? They just take whatever they say and they're like, well, that can be like that. These glasses, they can function like a moon optical device, So, they're the moon. Yeah, that sounds like it could work. That sounds like a very fundamental element. They receive light. Yeah, I think that could work. I think the glasses are a fundamental component of the moon. Yeah, let's go with that. I think it's kind of like it's a mother to the eyes. It cares for the eyes. Yeah, let's go with that. I completely give whatever they say complete credibility, and I get very angry with them because, what they say carries weight for other people because, it's very logical.
Then they did it again, causing an impact of 11.5 tons of TNT, and it rang like a bell for over 4 hours.
No, it didn't.
It vibrated in a way as if it were hollowed out, with giant
Just like Thor threw his hammer at Poseidon.
hydraulic damper struts inside of it.
Wowzy wheezy.
Wowzy wheezy indeed, buddy. I mean, that is a pretty fantastic description of something that there's no way they could have ever tested. Hey, Jordan, how did they come to that conclusion, by the way?
Want to know something else?
Always.
I love the way this 3-Eye guy reacts to everything Jordan says. He gets really excited and then just asks for more. Doesn't even question whether what he's hearing is wrong or not.
The surface of the moon contains minerals like titanium, but also processed metals like brass and mica.
I could only find one article on the entire internet that said that there was brass on the moon, and that was on an alternative website, and that alternative website didn't use a source for that information, so I'm going to go ahead and say that that's a lie? Second of all, mica's not a metal, it's a mineral. I do doubt also that was on the moon. I can't find any.
The reason I don't care is that they start off with going, well, this is kind of like this would make sense, wouldn't it? Oh yeah, sure, I really don't care. Sure, that sounds great. So I really don't care what they think.
any sources that say that there was mica on the moon.
It also contains something called uranium-236 and neptunium, which are both minerals that have never been found to occur naturally.
Whoa, that would change everything we know about chemistry and the moon if that were true. Everybody, I found an article about this, and I think we should all read this together because the implications are pretty intense. Are you ready? Short-lived isotopes, thorium-230 and uranium-236, exist on the
Impact of the various space rocks that hit them, right? We can tell that there was a difference in the meteor sizes that hit the moon by the diameters of each crater.
Yes, bigger rocks make bigger holes.
How come all of them, across the board, are the same depth?
Mother of God, an impenetrable shell.
They are not, oh my god, they are not the same depth. They all have relatively the same amount of sediment in them, though, and that is an interesting question. What that leads us to believe is that there was a certain period of time when the moon was receiving a lot of meteors, as possibly still during the time of...
What the fuck? Wait. What? Is this... Okay. At least you're being intellectually honest. That's okay.
the formation of the Earth. And it's possible this period of time ended abruptly. No, I mean abruptly within like a celestial time, like within a few thousand years.
Oh, here. Read this part here.
David Icke's research led him to shaman around the world.
David Icke?
Oh, so you decided to use some sarcasm about their literal claims that they have no proof thereof.
Does anybody know who David Icke is? He's the guy that goes around saying that the world is ruled by reptiles who shapeshift into humans. This is David Icke. This is who you are talking about. He believes that the moon is an actual egg that reptiles came out of.
Really? Is that what Moon Control says? I'm actually not entirely certain. Because he might say that. He is actually rather fucking crazy. Some of the stuff makes sense, and then the rest of it's like, okie dokie then, dude. You're like the perfect new ager. You seem legit, but you're full of shit.
I'm not making this up. This is what he actually believes.
Zulu tribes speak of the moon being an egg.
Great. Good for the Zulu tribes.
They symbolize it to be an egg for good reason. The ancient African and Sumerian legends talk of two brothers, Wawan and Mpanku, that emptied out the yolk and rolled the moon across the sky to the earth and caused cataclysmic events hundreds of generations before our...
I really don't enjoy looking at reality through the lens of social subjectivism, of personification of anthropomorphic origination. It's really irritating. After they just straight out say that it's psychologically involved hoo to try and understand two basic fundamental forces of the universe, existence and the lack thereof, through the inability to model a singular entity because interaction is fundamental to science and observation, making it impossible to falsify reality, which is a core question for understanding reality. But I don't enjoy these psychological stories when you could just bluntly say this. But of course it's about isolation, so that's why you get this.
Time.
Yeah, man. You don't need to go into detail about that. Everybody knows about Yawan and Mapinko, or whatever. We don't talk to us like we're stupid. We know what this is. I forget, though, which one of them pooped the egg?
This says here that the rock...
The issue I have with the egg is that it makes theoretical sense in regards to the existence in and bringing in of any type of consciousness. Because it's got the basic four-dimensionality plus a jutting forward of going forward, which is kind of like the raindrop going down to the earth. It's a sensation of gravity.
Rocks on the moon are older than the Earth itself.
Heavens.
What are you holding? You're holding a gray square. Is that supposed to be a tablet? Is it a booklet?
You know, I think I've only ever seen one side of the moon.
Okay. There it is.
I wonder why it doesn't spin like other planets.
This is why. This is why.
Have you ever noticed that the size and position of the moon is exactly in the...
We'll just bake. Or...
for the planet's survival. Maybe even our own survival.
Although I can certainly see why that would be your natural conclusion to the...
I mean, it's just so stupid to use that as an argument. Because the reason it would always face the same direction is that that's how its gravity is orienting it in relation to the Earth. The Earth spins around the sun because it is not oriented in the same relation to the sun as the moon is to the Earth. Oh, fuck it, I'll go through the fucking argument just to make sure I'm being...
Bends the water in our bodies.
What? I was about Yaoan and Maping. Does that... This is why. This is why.
Have you ever noticed that the size and position of the moon is exactly in the right place to create a perfect solar eclipse?
That's so intense.
Oh yeah, it's so fucking intense.
And just like the tides, it even bends the water in our bodies.
What? That can't be true. Now I'll admit people do act differently when the moon is full, but that has nothing to do...
The moon is directly related to the tides of the Earth. If the moon went away, the Earth wouldn't do so well. But that doesn't mean that it was artificially induced by aliens. It means that without the Earth, that without the moon, the Earth would not have formed. And so it is a natural result of the formation of the current form of life. Because without this current form of life, we would not be able to talk about the fucking existence of the moon. Because we wouldn't exist.
With tides.
That's why on nights of the full moon, there's always an increase of violent crimes. And probably passionate love.
I love that. And probably passionate love.
It used to be illegal to...
Now, not that this doesn't have some form of validity to it, just that this means of getting to it is bullshit.
Offense to say that one was moonstruck.
I don't understand where you're going with this. How is this proof that it's artificial?
Do you think these
No
things were
fucking
deliberately
kidding.
introduced to the Earth? Maybe for a purpose?
It's a possibility.
What do you think that purpose could be?
They say that the beings who put it there were trying to bring a new frequency to the planet. Or maybe even provide us with some sort of...
Right, the general idea of the alien disturbance to control everyone. So, the moon is a giant reptilian beacon designed to enslave the Earth, which means we should destroy the moon, which would be cataclysmic because this idea about it thus means that we would be destroying ourselves and our own existence by destroying the moon because of the reptilians. So this is an actually self-destructive idea because it would result in our extinction. Literally, it would destroy the planet Earth to treat the moon as an alien invasion.
resonation or gravitational wave that was vital for our survival.
What the fuck? How could you ever possibly come to that conclusion?
I've read that the Earth is...
What was the conclusion?
Come to that conclusion?
Whoa.
I don't understand where you're going with this. How is this proof that it's artificial?
Do you think these things were deliberately introduced to the Earth? Maybe for a purpose?
It's a possibility.
What do you think that purpose could be?
Jeez, let's just assume God.
They say that the beings who put it there were trying to bring a new frequency to the planet, or maybe even provide us with some sort of resonation or gravitational wave that was vital for our survival.
What the fuck? How could you ever possibly come to that conclusion?
I've read that the Earth isn't even in the right place in the solar system anymore.
Well, there are only really two other places where it can be, Jordan. Closer to the sun, where the atmosphere will just bake, or further away from the sun, where the atmosphere will dip.
Well, you would come to that conclusion if... Oh, wait, that's refuted in what you're saying right now.
Dissipate. So, which one?
Well, no. What they're talking about is the energetic vibration overall, not the literal physical position of the Earth. Two different things there. It's understandable that you're going to assume that because they're being fucking dumbasses, but... I can't defend their position either because it makes no sense, so... Fuck both of you? What is my fucking position?
Should we choose?
The story goes that at one point, the Earth used to exist between Mars and Jupiter.
Is this going to be the asteroid belt creation story? Yeah, I know there's a new age version of that.
And may have even been slightly larger than it is today. But
Oh shit, dude, that was fucking violent.
today,
I love it. More of this.
it was hit, and it flew off course, creating the asteroid belt, which is mostly frozen water. It goes that at one point, the Earth used to exist between Mars and Jupiter.
Is this going to be the asteroid belt creation story? Yeah, I know there's a new age version of that.
And may have even been slightly larger than it is today. But
Oh shit, dude, that was
This is such a shitty rendition
fucking
of the
violent.
video.
Today.
I just... Where is it in the beginning stages of formation? This is completely not represented in your thought and thinking, which is completely vital to it because it won't just go it would go melding into it, and it would go inside to it in the core so that it was part of the fucking core, making it fundamentally hotter so that it would create tectonic plate action, which would then enable tectonic relation and organism evolution. As explained in the Nova video that I can't fucking remember.
I love it. More of this.
It was hit, and it flew off course, creating the asteroid belt, which is mostly frozen water and rock debris, and wound up in
I don't remember how that goes in that video. Fuck.
a new orbit, right here.
Wouldn't it make more sense if that's how the moon got here?
But because of the impact of what happened, this planet was going to die, and it needed some help to keep it spinning and keep its orbit proper. And thus, the moon was put there by some advanced alien race or a higher form of consciousness who saw it as a requirement.
You know, technically, that could work. That could work. It's a little more drawn out, but technically, it's a possibility. It's like it's like a 50% possibility compared with like a 90% possibility. But sure, you could technically have that work. It just wouldn't happen nearly as often in probability or possibility.
For the planet's survival, maybe even our own survival.
Although I can
In
certainly...
other words, it is more likely that we are not result from that possibility. Is more likely resultant from the thing hitting the Earth, making the Earth bigger, and that being why we're here like this. It's more likely that that's the reason for it, as opposed to the other one. It might be that wait, that doesn't make sense, or does it? Fuck.
see why that would be your natural conclusion to the question, science can't tell us where it came from. Can we pretend for a second that I'm skeptical of your claim and that I need some evidence that this is true?
Which would explain why the Earth-to-Moon ratio is found within the human energy field.
Shit, the only ratio I care about is the hip-to-waist ratio. Am I right, boys? Oh,
Boy, you can't talk like that.
What?
No boys, the feminists are listening.
oh right.
Well, more of... I'm not a feminist, dude. But it just, like, that's... It's cute, it's funny, but it's completely beside the point. I'm just gonna keep going.
I mean,
I don't fucking care.
personality?
Then, events such as the falling of Atlantis
Dude, if you're gonna be doing, at the end of the video, so many, like, ending versions of personality... Or is that the point of it being hilarious? I don't know.
and rising back to consciousness could take place under circumstances that otherwise couldn't have happened.
That's really amazing.
It's amazing that even made sense to you.
Wait,
What the fuck did he say?
And rising back,
I literally wasn't paying
Evidence that
attention.
this is true?
which would explain why the Earth-to-Moon ratio is found within the human energy field.
Shit, the only ratio I care about is the hip-to-waist ratio. Am I right, boys? Oh!
Boy, you can't talk like that.
Actually, if you want to be scientifically accurate, that is completely and utterly relevant. Sex appeal is evolutionarily fundamental. So yes, it does fucking goddamn motherfucking matter. Because if you care about hip-to-rape ratio, then you don't want to fuck fat people. So yeah, that's kind of relevant.
What?
No boys, the feminists are listening.
Oh, right, shit. I mean,
Fuck feminists.
personality?
Then, events such as the falling of Atlantis and rising back to consciousness could take place under circumstances that otherwise couldn't have happened.
Atlantis? What? What the fuck are you talking about?
that's really amazing.
That's really presumptuous, and what the fuck are you even talking about?
It's amazing that even made sense to you.
Wait, did you say that the human geometries match the Earth and the Moon ratio?
They do?
Hey, I think you're really gonna love this.
What the f***?
That's a sacred...
In Dripolo's Flower of Life books, he shows these drawings here. As you can
So... 4 circles, a big circle, and the Leonardo da Vinci guy about supersymmetry. And the penis is in the middle, the arms are in the top part, the legs are in the bottom part.
see, this is the Egg of Life, mapped over Leonardo da Vinci's
Egg of Life, mapped over Leonardo da Vinci. What's the egg of life? A circle? A circle isn't an egg unless you're looking at the egg from the top? What?
Canon of man, along with a proportionate 8x8 grid
What?
ratio.
Hey, I think you're really gonna love this.
What the f?
In Drumbelo's Flower of Life books, he shows these drawings here. As you can see, this is the egg of life, mapped over Leonardo da Vinci's Canon of man, along with a proportionate 8x8
That's a shitty egg of life.
grid. Around the egg of life, you see 2 rings. This is the zona pellucida, the membrane around the structure.
Okay,
What the
so I
fuck
get
are
that
you
those things
talking
are important
about?
sacred geometry.
Do you? Because what I get is that he's drawing a bunch of circles around a guy.
First, we have to identify the male and female
So the male and female is equivalent with the yin yang. Why does that matter?
side of the equation.
I don't get Jordan's obsession with the male and
Oh
female.
wait, that's the same thing that you're saying. I just understand what his context is. I just don't know why he's referencing it to begin with. I just want to know why he's...
Thing.
On the top level, you have a circle and a square. They
Oh wait, so is the male the female thing the paradox of energy that I talk about? Why does that matter to you?
fractal down to the 8 physical spheres.
That's not a 3D view. They would... Fuck. These are circles that are that's not 3D, motherfucker. That's not motherfucking 3D, you idiot. You've put 2D a 2D image in it. Wait, is that 3D? Am I misinterpreting this? That you're actually showing those are 8 balls in there, you're saying. You know, I guess that's kind of the issue about the flat earth, round earth debate is that when you're fucking looking at it like this, it looks like it's fucking goddamn flat. And it could be goddamn fucking round at the same time. There's no way to differentiate it. Literally. Jesus Christ. Okay. Where was I?
And the 8x8 grid of squares.
Okay. Still seems pretty meaningless.
See how you can draw a circle that fits perfectly inside of these circles?
Okay, so I have more of an ability to describe this than the Yarmark Skeptic does because I'm involved in these circles, and I try to refute many of them because I think they're full of shit. And what I think he's trying to show here is a display of scale and what the fuck? Of scale and tendency. The tendency to close in, the tendency to blossom open.
And you'll get a circle that's just slightly smaller than the 4 squares put
But you could really fucking explain why the fuck you're doing all the fucking stuff you're doing, dude. I mean, it's so fucking obtuse.
together.
Okay, but you haven't explained why you're using that
Exactly.
particular pattern of squares.
It just so
He's using that particular pattern of squares because he's trying to equilaterate the distance that he's talking about? Because that's Newtonian and that's how you do stuff? As you can tell, I can't really explain what he's doing because I don't know.
happens to also fit perfectly around the edge.
So if you take if you take one big circle and you try to put circles in it that will fill it up without interfering with each other, you'll get 4 circles. Okay? And then if you want to put more circles in, you have to put in them in the cracks of those. And so you get a 5 and a 4 out of a 1, which is 20. I don't really know where I'm going with this. I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck the idea is that I can relate this from my own ideas to his stuff is, and I'm kind of at a loss at the moment.
Balancing between the inner circles and the outer larger circle.
Yes, you could, but it's meaningless because we do not understand why that particular pattern of squares
Yes, we do. Because that's Newtonian graphing.
exists.
If we take the 4 squares and use them as a measure, we can create a new circle, slightly larger
Why are you doing that?
than the smaller one we just drew.
Yeah, that's how geometry works.
If we move it to the top, it pushes out beyond the inner circle a little bit.
So, this looks like an eclipse, right? That's what you're trying to point to with this, right? What the fuck are you trying to say?
And what we're left with is the inner and outer edge of the zona pellucida.
Fine, it, whatever.
and a delineation of the human energy field.
You're pushing it.
Nobody knows where this next
Wait, what did he say?
the edge, balancing between the inner circles and the outer larger circle.
Yes, you could, but it's meaningless because we do not understand why that particular pattern of squares exists.
If we take the 4 squares and use them as a measure, we can create a new circle, slightly larger than the smaller one we just drew.
Yeah, that's how geometry works.
If we move it to the top, it pushes out beyond the inner circle a little bit, and what we're left with is the inner and outer edge of the zona pellucida,
Fine, it, whatever.
What's
and a delineation of the human energy field.
You're pushing it.
Nobody knows where this next new circle, slightly larger than the smaller one we just drew.
Yeah, that's how
Non-sequitur.
geometry works.
If we move it to the top, it pushes out beyond the inner circle a little bit, and what we're left with is the inner and outer edge of the zona pellucida.
Fine, it, whatever.
And a delineation.
Okay. That makes no fucking sense. So, the square is the physical field, it's Newtonian space, okay? And then the circle is the energy field. Of what? Kind of missing a vital factor there. Of what? Of the person's genitals? Of the person's brain? Of their personal bubble sphere of energy, their personal space? Please clarify. Like, is the physical field not part of the energy field because they're interconnected by non-locality? What the fuck are you trying to say?
Of the human energy field.
You're pushing it.
Nobody knows where this next part I'm about to show you actually comes from.
Of course that roughly translates into, what I'm about to tell you is a fucking lie.
Using the tip of the zona pellucida as a radial point between it and the square to create a new sphere, this then delineates the field of the 13th chakra, the ratio between this new sphere and a sphere based off of this square, the physical form
Oh, you presumptuous prat.
of the Earth, is the exact same ratio as that of the Earth and the Moon.
You're gonna give me a fucking stroke, man.
To the top, it pushes out beyond the
How do you
circle a
know
little bit.
this? Do we have some numbers to confirm this shit?
And what we're
Like the Earth, the Sun, get those ratios down the numbers and show, yes, this is the same ratio. Do we have that shit? Let's do that shit. Cause like, fucking, that would be amazing if that was literally the case.
left with is the inner and outer edge of the zona pellucida,
Fine, it, whatever.
and a delineation of the human energy
Fuck.
field.
You're pushing it.
Nobody knows where this next part I'm about to show you actually comes from.
Of course that roughly translates into, what I'm about to tell you is a fucking lie.
Using the tip of
What? 0 point? Is this 0 point?
the zona pellucida as
Pellucida, that's 0 point?
a radial point between it and the square,
What? So you're just gonna arbitrarily enlarge it because you want to? So the human being is the Earth and the Pellucida, whatever thing is the moon?
to create a new sphere. This then delineates the field of the 13th
No, that's the field of the 13th chakra. Well, so, okay, so it's... where did you get the... Okay. You're just rank bullshit.
chakra, the ratio between this new sphere and a sphere based off of this square, the physical form of the Earth, is the exact same ratio as that of the Earth and the Moon.
You're gonna give me a fucking...
That's an interesting idea. I just wish someone who I can tell is full of shit wasn't saying it, because that looks like an interesting proposal that I would like to investigate, and I'm not wanting to be associated with someone who's full of bullshit also advocating it, if it turns out to be true, because you're full of bullshit.
Stroke, man.
You'll also notice, too, that the zona pellucida has actually merged with the square around the body and planet to create the phi ratio. It's a bridge to a higher consciousness.
You know what's so amazing? A water droplet can form. Wow, that's so amazing. Yeah, physics actually does stuff. Yeah, man, physics does stuff. Wow. So, are you done marveling over a raindrop and I'm speechless. Well, not literally, just like theoretically, like what the fuck do I say to this shit?
Whoa.
Okay, this better be impressive. I'm gonna fast forward through your math.
In a circle and square diagram, to create the phi ratio, the circumference of a circle must be equal to the perimeter of a square. When you calculate the perimeter of the square that would be around the physical Earth, it comes to 31,680 miles, which is the diameter of the Earth times 4. To get the circle around the Earth is a little bit more tricky because you have the moon's involvement. You have to imagine the moon is perfectly placed against the Earth without going into it at all. Then we take the diameter of the Earth and the diameter of the moon, add them together, and multiply by pi. It comes out at 31,667.
Holy crap, they're almost the exact same numbers.
Exactly.
Holy crap. They're completely different numbers. Exactly.
There's a 13-mile difference, but 13 miles is nothing when you consider that the ocean rises nearly 27 miles around the equator.
Okay, but the Earth isn't a perfect sphere either. It's kind of glob-shaped. This is all meaningless.
So what does all of this mean to us, Mr.
Well, Armor Skeptic, it certainly isn't flat, is it? Do the general principles of what he's saying apply? I have no fucking clue because I have no fucking clue if any of this even relates to reality. He just gave some numbers about the circumference of that thing, and I don't know how that relates to anything. I don't know how that... Maybe I'm just missing it.
Patch?
What does it mean? What does it mean?
What does it mean? God, you guys are so full of yourself with your third eye flashes.
I guess it means that the moon is not just this random satellite that has nothing to do with us.
Oh my god, it clearly has everything to do with us. We would not exist if it were not for that moon.
It's there for a reason, for a chance. A chance that we might just make the most important decision that we've ever made as a species.
To exist? Because it's already done that.
And create together a new way of life on this planet.
Are you, sold on that Flower City?
Dude.
Harley Davidson? Either it's kind of...
Looks like the Venus...
What does it mean? God, you guys are so full of yourself with your third eye flashes.
I guess it means that the moon is not just this random satellite that has nothing to do with us.
Oh my god,
I'm sorry, but he's right. It's just like, wow.
clearly has everything to do with us. We would not exist if it were not for that moon.
It's there for a reason, for a chance. A chance that we might just make the most important decision that we've ever made as a species.
To exist? Because it's already done that.
And create
This. Doesn't this look like Jacques Fresco's imaginings? Why are they flowers? Flowers aren't very good building material. Damn, this looks amateur. Like, it's not even worthy of critique, it's so terrible.
together a new way of life on this planet.
Are you, sold on that Flower City thing? 'Cause I'm not really feeling it. Can I maybe have, more like a Harley Davidson kind of feel? I don't know.
It's up to the collective, to all of mankind. Do we choose love? Or do we choose chaos and war? Maybe a little bit of both from the looks of it right now.
I understand the want, I understand the need, but this bullshit ain't the answer.
But times are changing. This isn't the old world anymore. It's now a matter of survival.
I have an alternative thing to present, which is that I suppose it's very similar to a lot of what they say, but it is fundamentally different as well, because I don't believe in subjectivism, which they seem to be like, oh, let's just believe in this now, that seems cool, yeah, sounds great, man, let's do it, yeah, oh yeah, I want to hear more, oh yeah, absolutely, they just suck my cock right there, oh, more, baby, more, just give me more of that fuel, that light, give me more of that sun, just a bit. Anyways, and that alternative is a world with consistently applied rules. And that is godhood, being able to hold a dance of your sacred being. And that materialism and subjectivism are equally idiotic in that they both claim the existence of only a single thing. And that single thing is what they claim to be true and right and good. Well, that single thing also can't interact. It is also identical with religion, with the omnipotent, omnipresent God who is full of judgment. All of this is identical to religion, both materialism, the idea that only the material world exists, and the spiritual idea that total passivity is acceptance. That total passivity is a moral way of life. Because you know what? Being a pacifist, having a room full of pacifists when a cannibal walks in, that's going to replicate.
And collaboration. The moon appears to offer us the opportunity to change, to become aware, to grow. But it won't make the decision for us.
No, you don't know that. You're making a guess. At least fess up to that.
That's a fact.
What the are you talking about?
This seems to be evidence of a long-lost secret that has to do with our evolution.
No, it's not a secret.
Either way, I still love the moon, man.
We like the moon! The moon is very useful, everyone!
Me too. Want some beans?
More than anything ever, Mr. Patch. Anything ever.
That is such a depressing ending.
That's how you end this head trip?
Whoa, what the fuck happened? Okay. I guess it prematurely ended. Whatever. That was depressing. I'm gonna end this video.